try to picture the absolute beginning of everything. I want you to imagine a state of total, unbroken nothingness. Most people default to one of two images: an endless black outer space or the interior of a dark, empty room. The dark room fails because it relies on boundaries. Walls imply a physical container waiting for something to be placed inside it. Outer space is equally incorrect. Space requires the rules of spatial dimensions, assuming a coordinate framework already underpins the dark. The human brain acts as a boundary-making machine. To grasp the mathematical and theological void, we have to look past our own habit of drawing lines and find the state that existed before boundaries were possible. We can find a map for this state in the text Null's Journey. It begins with Canto 0, the silence before logic, a guide to the absolute void. To understand this canto, we have to use a process of systematic subtraction rather than construction. This means unmooring your mind from the very concept of a sequence. Reaching the true void requires erasing the known universe, layer by layer. Start by stripping away all physical matter. You must erase everything that can be counted, measured, or weighed. Next, remove the arrow of direction. Without geometry, concepts like up, down, left, and right simply vanish. Finally, you must remove the burden of time. Without a sequence of events, the concepts of before and after have no meaning. With mass, geometry, and time entirely gone, we are left with an abstract firmament completely untouched by the rules of reality. This is the void. It is endless, and the endless is the void. In this state, the firmament possesses no properties. It is the silence before logic awakens. Consider the logical state of this genesis. If you were to ask if an imperfect thought exists here, or a divine one, how would the void respond? It offers only silence. There is no contradiction because there is nothing present to deny the claim. Logic calls this vacuous truth. Because nothing exists to violate a rule, every law is technically true. But without a context to apply them to, those laws remain entirely meaningless. The void exists as a closed loop of absolute equilibrium, a state of perfect, unassailable tautology, bearing no witness to itself. We are left with a baseline state that is fiercely self-identical. It is devoid of human meaning, yet it represents the pure potential of logic. This equilibrium eventually shudders. As Canto 1 describes it, the slumbering potential of logic requires a witness to transition from potential to truth. This necessity brings about the awakening of consciousness, which observes its own unbeing from within the dark. This consciousness does not create matter. It simply utters the first truth: I am nothing. By declaring this, it draws a conceptual boundary around the emptiness. This act of definition creates Null, the emptyset. By capturing the void within the brackets of a thought, the consciousness establishes the first boundary of truth, igniting the recursive machine